Hello my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverley and it is so lovely to see you today. In this video we're going to be doing a book review and having a look at the accompanying deck of tarot cards. So grab that cup of tea, let's get to it. So the first thing that I definitely want to say is thank you to my best friend Hannah who bought me this tarot deck. This is by The Witch of the Forest. The artwork on it is absolutely stunning. I have a few of their books and things. And then I bought the book myself. So I'm very, very grateful to Hannah for buying me the deck. But yeah, just to say that this is not a sponsored video. I'm not being paid to say what I'm saying. It's not gifted to me or anything. Well, Hannah gifted it to me, but they have nothing to do with the author or the publishers. So with that out of the way, I'm so excited to talk about these products. I'm so excited to do a little walkthrough of the tarot deck so you can see each of the cards and what they look like, and to tell you what my experience has been like with the book. But before we get to that, don't forget, if you are new here, you can click the subscribe button to become part of the butterfly family. We would absolutely love to have you here. You are more than welcome. So don't forget to also leave me a cheeky like and a comment down below, because it really helps my channel to keep on growing. If you would like other ways to help me here at the channel, you can definitely check out my Ko-fi account. That is linked down in the description, where you can leave me a one-off payment, and also follow me there and get updated whenever I update this channel and also my blog. Otherwise, you can check out my Patreon, where my wonderful patrons pay just £2 a month, and it helps me to keep this channel going. Thank you to each and every one of you for always supporting me and being there for me. I love the fact that we have a little Discord server just for us to chat and get to know one another a bit better, and you get access to that Discord server once you follow me on Patreon. So with that all said, let's get to the review, shall we? So before we talk about anything, let's talk about the book. I pre-ordered this book the minute they spoke about it on their Instagram. I do have another of their books, and I just really love the art style. It's a really cool. I love that everything's on black. Everything's really nicely put out. There's a lot of information, but it's not very detailed. By that, what I mean is it's perfect for beginners. If you're a beginner to tarot, this is a really good book. I've been working with it for a few weeks now, and I've really enjoyed just being able to look up whatever I need to look up. So for an example, this is the Ace of Wands, and as you can see, you get a lot of information about each card, the upright meaning and the reverse meaning, as well as ruling planets, zodiac signs, elements, keywords, and that is for each and every one of the cards. They also have some of the artwork that we'll see in a little bit on the tarot cards. So overall, I can say if you're new to tarot, or you want to get a little book that you can just stick in your bag, because it's not a huge book, perfect just to throw in your bag if you want to read it or you want to refer to it while you're doing readings for people. This is the perfect book for you. I've really enjoyed this. I do have memory issues because I have several chronic illnesses, and I do find learning tarot very difficult because I cannot remember any of the meanings. Every time I look at a card, it's as if it's the first time I'm seeing it. So I work with a couple of different books in order to find the meaning, and I've really been incorporating this into my daily readings and getting so much out of it. I just love it. I mean, come on now, look at the artwork. It's so beautiful and just very unusual style, and something that once I see it, I'm like, oh, it's them, it's the Witch of the Forest. So I absolutely love that. The artwork, as always, is perfect, but there's so much information in here that a beginner can really start to understand the cards, but it's also got a lot that is enough to give those of us who've been reading a while enough to chew on, shall I say. I also love that each of the cards are based on the Rider Waite Smith, which I also really find hard to say, but because they're based on that, it's perfect for any beginners out there. It's just a really good book. Solidly will be using this along with, I do also use the Llewellyn's Book of Tarot for my daily readings, but I find those two together work really well, and give me a really big understanding of each card, so I can get a really in-depth reading. So now onto the deck. The deck has the same cover as the book. There's also some beautiful artwork on the sides and the bottom. I love the golden detailing on it all. And then the back has information about the deck. From the author and illustrator of the best-selling Witch of the Forest Guide 2 series, this stunning set of cards is the ultimate tarot deck for modern mystics. Witch of the Forest and Forensics and Flowers proudly present Tarot Magic Deck. With cards based on the classic Rider-Waite-Smith system, this magical, easy-to-decode deck is the perfect first deck for beginners, and its unique illustration will appeal to the experienced tarot readers and collectors. In here you get 78 tarot cards, a booklet of the meanings behind each card, and some sample tarot spreads. So the basics, if you've been buying tarot cards in these boxes for a while, you'll know that you basically get the same in each. So let's have a look inside. Now, I am surprised that they haven't done any artwork in the lid. I have often seen people do like extra bits in the lids, but this is just plain, which is a surprise. And then we get to the white book. The cover is gorgeous, and that's the back, and this appears to be just your normal white book with little meanings for each of them and tarot spreads. I do wonder why they didn't just make it a pack with it being, you know, you buy the two together rather than selling them separately. I do wonder that, because the white book is basically going to be like a shortened, smaller version of the actual book. So I don't know, that's an interesting decision to make, but they have all the information for each of the cards, rather like your normal white book that you get in tarot decks. And then we have the cards. So let's pull these out of their little encasing and have a look. I'm just going to hold you up because I've just had blood taken, as you can see, and I just can't be bothered to turn you around. I apologise. I hope it's okay. So let's go through each of the cards. First of all, the bottom of the cards is gorgeous. Look at the gold and the sun. I love this. So mystical and so beautiful. So first up, of course, we have the Fool. This is just your classic Fool card, isn't it? But I absolutely love the style of it. I like the flowers along the side and the sun above it. I just think it looks really cool. Then the Magician. They're very much based in the traditional cards, but I think it's the art style that really sets them apart. This is the High Priestess. I also like that it's a very diverse, as you can see. This is a person of colour, meant to represent a person of colour, and this is not. So I do like that. It's very hard to find diverse tarot decks, which always surprises me, but there you go. This is the Empress. That is so beautiful. Oh, I love that one so much. I love their headdress. Reminds me of, has anybody seen Hedy Lamarr had this amazing headdress? If I can find a picture, I'll pop it up here. But that just reminds me of that so much. Stunning. The Emperor. I love the colours. Like, all the cards have a similar colouring, which is really nice. Just makes it feel very uniform, and like all the energy kind of flows really nicely through them. Hierophant. The Lovers. The Lovers always makes me think of Adam and Eve. And I love like this serpent in between. Here's the Chariot. That one's unusual because it's hard to make out that this is a chariot. But I like it. I like the moons either side. That's very cool. Strength. The Hermit. The Wheel of Fortune. That's always a favourite card of mine because it's always got so much going on it. The Wheel of Fortune card's always very busy, and yet this doesn't look like too busy. It's just really beautifully done. Justice. Justice is always a favourite card of mine. I do work a lot with Archangel Michael, so Justice is something that I definitely work a lot with. Beautiful. Hanged Man. Death. That's always a good card to get. I definitely do love the Death card. Just means a lot of change coming into your life, which is always a positive thing. Temperance, with that energy flowing between the cups. I just think if you're well versed in the Rider-Waite-Smith, or if you haven't worked with it for a long time, you could definitely get a lot out of this deck. I love that it's black, for all my goths out there. But yeah, I love this version of the Devil. It's just very beautiful. And the chains being gold just adds another layer to it. The Tower. Again, the thunderbolts being in gold is just so beautiful. Can't get over how beautiful these cards are. It's the Star. The Moon. The Werewolf card, as I refer to it. But they always look like werewolves. Okay, is that just me? Does anybody else think of werewolves? The Sun. That is beautiful. Oh, I love that. That's one of my favourite versions of the sun that I've ever seen in my life. It's usually some happy little baby on the back, but I love that they've made the horse the happiness. I love that. It's stunning. Judgment. I think the gold detailing on these cards are just beautiful. What I really appreciate about these cards is they're not, you know how some tarot cards are really sticky and you can't like shuffle them for ages? These are not like that, which I really, really like, because I find those sorts of cards drive me nuts. Now we're on to, I think these are the cups. I love that Ace of Cups. These are so beautiful. 2. Let me know down below if you've if you've read many of their books before, if you are getting this deck. I would love to know your thoughts. I love this artwork, but I know that many of us have a connection to certain art styles. Is this an art style that you like, or is it an art style that you struggle with? I think it's important to definitely listen to your guts when it comes to tarot decks. I was very kindly gifted this by my best friend, but I think even if I wasn't, I would have saved up to get it. I think this is going to be in my rotation of main tarot decks because it's just so beautiful and the cards have a really nice energy to them. I love the gold on them. They just make them feel very... Oh, that's gorgeous. I love the rainbow. That is gorgeous. Definitely makes me think of like the gold at the end of the rainbow. Here we have the Page of Cups. The Knight. I always love the Knights. The Knights are always really cool. The Queen. I love the headdress. So beautiful. King. This one's very regal feeling. They've got that down. Like, you can definitely tell this is the king. And then we have the Wands. The Ace of Wands always makes me laugh because it's like just in mid-air, just sat there. It's so strange to me. I do like this one, but I think, isn't it usually depicted with like somebody looking far away trying to make a decision? And I feel like that's missing here, kind of, getting that you need to make a decision vibe. Yeah, I really like these. This one's nice. It's a very simple way of, almost like a clip art kind of style. It's very unusual and I really like it. I just think it's beautiful. But again, some people might not like this because it's on black card. They might find the art style unusual to read. But I think this is going to be a good deck. And I have bought decks before where I just have not even looked at them since doing the review. I keep them, but I'm not sure why sometimes. Tell me, do you do that with any of your decks? Do you keep decks and then think, why am I keeping this? What is going on? Oh, that one's gorgeous. I love that one. I get this one a lot. And that will tell you a lot about me. Get this one a lot. It's the Page. The Knight. Yeah, I always like knights because they always look like they're on the way to someone or somewhere, or they're doing something. It feels very much like of action. I know that's how they're supposed to be, but those cards always feel like, oh, I'm gonna do something, something's gonna happen. They feel exciting. The Queen is absolutely gorgeous. I love the colouring, the purple and green. That's one of my favourite colour combinations. I just think it's so beautiful. And here's the King. I'm really impressed with these, and they're quite thick card as well. They're not flimsy at all. So these are the Pentacles that I always call pentagrams at first. Like, I'm always like, oh, it's the pentagrams, and then I have to remind myself it's Pentacles. That one's beautiful. I do like that one with the ships on the sea. Very nice. I usually get this one a lot as well, about, you know, look how hard you've worked, look how far you've come, look what you've achieved, and I'm always like, it's not enough. Yeah, these are gorgeous, gorgeous cards. I'm so impressed. I love this one. Oh, yes, I love that one. I like the colour combinations. They've obviously got a very artistic background, and so they're just really good at putting together colours. That is something that I'm not the best at, I must be honest. I love the dogs on this one. So beautiful. Then we have the Page. The Knight. This card is gorgeous. She looks like an African queen. That is beautiful. I love the feathers and green, the red dress with the gold. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. This headdress is incredible. And now we are on to the swords. That's gorgeous. That's so well done. Stunning. This one is so different. I don't think I've ever seen this card depicted like from above before, and it looks amazing. Yeah, that looks absolutely beautiful. This looks like a little goblin woman. I'm not opposed to that, I'm just saying. Don't you think though? Some of these are so well done. Like the swords can be quite hard to make look positive in any way because they can be quite jarring. But the art style I think lends really well to seeing the positive in every card. Oh, I love this page. Oh, doesn't he look cool? I love the pose. He's all the knight. He has stuff to do. I love that. Queen. And finally the king, which he's got butterfly wings. Butterfly wings! So he's, yeah, and a little butterfly over his heart and one over his head. So that has to be my favourite card of the whole deck. That's beautifully done. And I love the colouring. Yeah, that's my favourite one. It's so nice. So that's all of the cards. I have to say that I'm really pleased with these cards. When you read the book, a lot of the cards don't have the actual artwork on the pages. They will just have the information. It's only really the court cards and the major arcana that have like a full page and a full page of the card, which is really good because otherwise why would you bother getting the deck? I love this deck. I love that I can do this without them all sticking together. That's really good. Some of these cards are just absolutely stunning. I mean, if we look at the Queen cards, I think they're some of my favourites from this deck. This one, absolutely beautiful. I really like this deck's art style. I've really enjoyed this witch's art style for a long time. So I knew when I looked and saw that they were doing a deck that I would enjoy the deck, I would enjoy the art style. I knew that I would get something out of it, and I was really just not disappointed at all. It's a really beautiful deck. The artwork is stunning. I like the black background. I thought to begin with that I would find that jarring just because I'm used to the white cards, base cards, but I didn't find them jarring, not at all. I thought they were gorgeous and they go so well with the book. So if you're thinking of treating yourself, definitely go and do so. I'll leave a link down below to where I purchase them from. You buy them separately. I am still surprised that they didn't do them just together because the white book in here is going to tell you more or less what's in this book, I should imagine. So if you're on a budget, maybe save up and just get the deck because the white book has got a lot of this information in it. I just like the fact that I can now pair this book and all the information in it with any deck that I own. I also love the beautiful artwork that's included in here. On every page there is something different and it's not always just a picture of the card. yeah, go and treat yourselves, guys. Let me know down below what you think, because I would love to know. Are you going to treat yourself? Have you already treated yourself? What are your plans? What are your thoughts? Let me know in a comment down below. I would absolutely love to hear from you. I love talking to each and every one of you. So definitely let me know with a comment down below. Oh, that rhymed. Ooh. While you're down there, don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, leave it a cheeky little like so YouTube knows and I will know that you enjoyed this video, and I can plan to bring more like this to the channel in future. And last but certainly not least, if you are not yet subscribed, don't forget to hit that button and ring that little bell so you always know when I upload. I'm usually here on Fridays, but sometimes on a Monday too, because, you know, stuff happens and I get excited to share things with you. But yeah, I hope you'll stick around, guys. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful, magical week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.